There's something strangely comforting about a smile. It's supposed to mean safety, warmth, and familiarity, a signal that we're among friends. But lately, those smiles have started appearing where they don't belong. On the walls of abandoned houses, etched into tree bark deep in the woods, or drawn in dust across forgotten windshields. Each one simple, each one identical. Yet somehow, each feels wrong. At first, people thought it was just a harmless trend, a strange bit of street art, maybe a joke. But as weeks passed, the smiles began showing up near police tape, near rivers, near places that should have stayed untouched. The kind of places people whisper about but never visit. Something unsettling about how ordinary looks cheerful symbols in places soaked with silence. Began in a quiet riverside town, a place that prided itself on stillness. Locals described it as peaceful, where mornings smelled of dew and the only sounds were distant church bells and water brushing against old stone. But that calm didn't last. One morning, a jogger found something strange under the bridge. A simple, smiley face, painted in dripping black, staring out over the water. At first, it was brushed off as graffiti. Kids, maybe, a prank. But 2 days later, a man went missing. His name was Eli Turner, 26, quiet, the kind who kept to himself. His car was found parked near the same bridge, the driver's door open, keys still inside. Police searched the water, dragged the riverbed for hours. When they found him, his body was caught in reeds a few miles downstream. The current had washed most traces away, except for one thing. On the rock beside where he was discovered, another smile had appeared. Fresh paint, dry edges. Someone had been there after the rain. Locals started whispering. Some said it was a sign. Others claimed it was nothing. But the tone of the town shifted. Doors locked earlier. Curtains stayed drawn. And the bridge, once a gathering place for evening walks, was now empty long before sunset. A few curious teens tried to investigate. They took pictures, hoping to catch something strange. Most photos came out normal, except one. A shot of the river at duskwater.com, sky fading to gray. In the background, just barely visible, a faint figure standing on the opposite bank. The outline of a head tilted slightly, as if smiling. The sheriff dismissed it. Light reflection, he said. You're seeing what you want to see. But people weren't so sure. They noticed things, the way dogs refused to cross the bridge anymore, the way the paint never seemed to fade. Even in heavy storms, the smile remained sharp, clean, and new. Then came the second disappearance. A woman named Nora was last seen near the Riverside Cafe, a familiar face in town. Her phone was found in the grass by the water, still recording. The audio, though faint, caught something strange, soft laughter echoing through the wind. Not joyous, not human, just off. That was when fear took hold. The town stopped talking about it. Reporters came, asked questions, then left with uneasy smiles of their own. The official report listed unrelated incidents. The paint, they said, was coincidence. But people who lived there knew better. You could feel it the way the air thickened near the riverbank, the chill that crept up your arms when you looked too long at those painted curves. It wasn't just art, it was a message. Weeks later, a heavy fog rolled in. When it cleared, the old bridge was covered dozens of smiles, each identical, perfectly spaced along the railings. No one heard footsteps that night. No one saw lights or figures. But everyone saw the marks the next morning. It was as if the town itself was grinning, stretching wide under gray skies, daring anyone to question it. And though they tried to clean them, every attempt failed. The paint bled through fresh coats, faint but visible like a bruise that refused to heal. The first disappearance happened on a Friday night. A college senior named Adam was walking back from a campus bar less than half a mile from his dorm. Surveillance cameras caught him crossing the street, hands in his pockets, head down. The next frame was empty. No struggle, no car, just the faint shimmer of rain on asphalt. By morning, the only thing left behind was a single symbol, a smiley face, drawn in chalk on the wall behind the bar. No one thought much of it. Students leave marks everywhere. But then came the second case, and the third. Different campuses, different states, always the same pattern. Late night walk, bad weather, no witnesses. And every time, somewhere nearby, the same crooked smile. When investigators tried to connect the dots, they realized how eerily similar these places were. Each victim disappeared near water, rivers, canals, lakes that cut through college towns. It wasn't enough to prove anything, but enough to make people nervous. Parents warned their kids not to walk home alone. Campus police added extra patrols. But the smiles didn't stop. In one city, a group of students formed an online thread to track sightings. They called it the Pattern Watch. They compared photos, traced maps, analyzed time. It all felt exciting at first, like solving a mystery. But that energy shifted once they noticed something unnerving. The smiles weren't random. They formed a trail, a curve, a line, stretching across states, connecting victims who never knew each other. One of the moderators, a psychology major, pointed out something chilling. They're not just marking spots, he said. They're creating an image, a bigger one, something we can't see yet. 2 nights later, his roommate reported him missing. His last post read, "I think I found where it leads." Authorities dismissed the theory. They called it a coincidence. The media briefly covered the smiley face killer rumors, only to fade back into silence when no arrests were made. But the thread remained active, filled with people who couldn't look away. One anonymous user uploaded a photo of an underpass mural, dozens of smiley faces overlapping, layered in paint and graffiti. At the center, one was different, wider, warped, its eyes uneven. Beneath it, faint letters read, "We see you too." That was the moment the thread went quiet. Accounts deleted, posts removed. It was as if everyone decided, all at once, that they'd gone too far. Months later, one of the missing students' phones was recovered from a lake. It still worked, barely. The final video showed nothing but a shoreline at night, fog rolling, water lapping gently. Then, from behind the camera, a whisper. "It's everywhere now." To this day, new reports still surface near college towns. Always the same story, a disappearance, a smile, and silence. Maybe it's coincidence, maybe something more. But as one detective quietly admitted, off record, you start to see enough of these, and it's hard not to feel watched. Some say it's an organized group. Others think it's just an idea, something contagious, spreading from one town to the next. After the string of disappearances, curiosity grew faster than fear. An online forum appeared, quietly at first, a thread dedicated to connecting dots that no official report would acknowledge. It called itself the Hidden Grin. Users posted tips, photos, even witness accounts, each smiley face captured in urban alleys, forest paths, riversides. At first, it felt harmless, a community of people trying to make sense of the unexplainable. But the more people shared, the stranger it became. Patterns emerged. Coordinates, times, the exact shape of each smile, subtle differences that hinted at intent. Some users swore they saw figures lurking in the background of photos. Others described shadows that seemed to follow them after visiting the sites. Conversations turned obsessive. People analyzed the shape of each curve as if the symbols themselves carried messages. One night, a post appeared that shifted everything. The user claimed to have found a photograph showing multiple missing people together, smiling. No origin, no metadata, only the image. The forum erupted with theories. Trolls dismissed it as fake. Experts argued over lighting, perspective, camera tricks. But the undercurrent was undeniable. It felt real, too real.